News this morning, the man charged with the murder of conservative icon Charlie Kirk returned to court for another hearing. And President Trump suggested that he may put tariffs on countries that don't back his plan to control Greenland.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Caroline Mueller here with you on this Monday, January 19th. The time is now 6 a.m., so let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, we were just talking a couple minutes ago about what temperatures we like and don't like, and I don't think either of us said anything even close to those 20s and 30s and even teens.
Not even close. Yeah, no, it's way too cold this morning and definitely out of the comfortability range as you're starting off your day. A lot of folks in the 20s early on. I mean, we're talking 19 degrees even in Wise and 16 degrees in Jonesville, and that's not even the feels like temperatures. Here's what it actually will feel like. A lot of folks feeling like the teens. Feels like 10 in Wise. Not seeing too much of a change in Middlesboro. Feels like 26. Altogether, though, it's a cold start to the day, and even as we head towards the afternoon, still out of that comfortability range of the upper 20s, low 30s. You're going to need that coat all day long. Thankfully, though, we're looking at mostly clear skies this morning, and by the time we head into the afternoon, we'll be looking at sunny skies. So hopefully the sunshine makes us feel just a little bit better. Caroline.
Let's hope so. Thank you, Megan. A blanket of snow dropped on millions over the weekend from New York City to Philadelphia to Alabama. The winter weather was everywhere, even in sunny Florida, where the Panhandle saw snowfall on palms and frost the white sands at the beach. But along with picturesque scenes, there was plenty of mess. 2 days of snowfall forced many to dig out and navigate dangerous roads.
You got to drive slow. Other vehicles usually is your biggest hazard.
It was really fast. There's like big hills. It's really fun to go down, and it's really hard to climb up.
The snowfall in Florida marks the second year in a row that the Sunshine State has been blanketed in snow. Last January, parts of the Panhandle recorded up to 10 inches. The man charged with the murder of conservative icon Charlie Kirk returned to court Friday for another hearing. Attorneys for Tyler Robinson want the Utah County Prosecutor's Office disqualified because of an alleged conflict of interest. The defense says the conflict is connected to a Utah County attorney whose child attended the event where Kirk was fatally shot in September and later texted their father and described the chaotic aftermath. The defense argued the prosecution team failed to properly vet the attorney, while prosecutors accuse the defense of using delay tactics.
We firmly believe that the law supports the conclusion that that particular prosecutor should have been screened off.
We have now family members of the prosecution being subpoenaed. These people are ready to move forward and get this out of the way. The longer we delay this, the more anxiety that this procedure has.
Robinson is accused of shooting Kirk in the neck during the outdoor event at Utah Valley University. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. Tensions remain high in Minneapolis as protests continue for and against ICE immigration enforcement as President Trump threatens to send in federal troops. The president says he may invoke the Insurrection Act as 1,500 federal troops wait on standby in Alaska. CBS News correspondent Bradley Blackburn reports from New York.
Protesters demonstrated throughout the weekend, as they have every day since the deadly shooting of Renee Good by an ICE agent in Minneapolis a week and a half ago.
We will not be shut down.
A small group of pro-ICE demonstrators tangled with those against immigration enforcement.
People have been stopped for simply appearing to be Somali or appearing to be Latino or appearing to be foreign. And it's concerning because we also know we're not getting these stories from Irish folks and Norwegian folks here.
Last night on 60 Minutes, the Minneapolis police chief shared his concerns about the killing of Good.
We're in this 2020 moment where all these tensions have been building. And I'm afraid we're going to have another moment where it all explodes.
A top immigration official defends the actions of agents, including those involved in the shooting of Good.
Our officers are told that they give one warning to follow the lawful instruction. to stop impeding. If she did not obey that lawful order, then she was going to get arrested.
A new CBS News poll shows more Americans now think ICE is being too tough in encounters compared to November. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Several thousand ICE agents and federal officers are now deployed in Minneapolis. Minnesota's governor has mobilized the state's National Guard as well. President Trump unveiled a new $50 billion program designed to ensure rural communities have access to health care facilities. The president touted the program at the White House roundtable Friday morning. All 50 states will receive at least $100 million a year during the next 5 years. The money is meant to shore up health care coverage in rural communities where many hospitals are facing financial strain.
These funds will go to empowering rural hospitals, strengthening their workforce, modernizing facilities and technology, and ensuring that rural Americans get world-class health care in their own community, right smack in their own community, like they've never had meetings that are very important.
President Trump invited Republican lawmakers to the ceremony as he looks ahead to the upcoming midterm elections. Many Democrats support the Rural Health Care Initiative, but point out that the $50 billion program pales in comparison to the more than $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid Republicans passed in the One Big Beautiful bill. President Trump suggested that he may put tariffs on countries that don't back his plan to control Greenland. It comes as a bipartisan group of lawmakers traveled to Denmark Friday to show support for the Danish territory. Last week, European nations sent small numbers of additional troops to the island at Denmark's request. On another hot-button foreign policy issue, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado praised President Trump for the U.S. capture of former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. However, the president has not endorsed Machado to be Venezuela's next president. A new poll shows a majority of Americans think President Trump's first year back in the White House was a failure. That's according to 58% of respondents in a new CNN poll conducted by SSRS. On the other hand, nearly 9 in 10 Republicans approve of his performance. Roughly 2/3 of respondents want President Trump to focus on the economy and reduce prices. Even 42% of self-described MAGA members think he should be doing more. The poll also shows growing pessimism about the country's economic future. Right now, Republicans control the House of Representatives, but Democrats are closing in. The House now has one of the slimmest margins in nearly 100 years, and it could shape what Congress gets done. WYMT Washington correspondent Stephen Goen reports.
On Capitol Hill, the Republican majority in the House of Representatives just keeps shrinking, with every vote now a test of the party's ability to govern.
The margin's going to be as slim as it ever has been.
That reduction in the GOP caucus, starting with the resignation of Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a former Trump ally turned foe.
You know, politics has not been a safe place for me.
Then there was the unexpected death of California Representative Doug LaMalfa, then a car accident which seriously injured Indiana Representative Jim Baird, leaving the 80-year-old potentially sidelined in future votes. The current balance in the House, now 218 to 213, which means Speaker Mike Johnson can only afford to lose 1 or 2 members on a party line vote. Johnson not worried yet.
We have been working with a razor-thin majority since I became Speaker. But this is the group that has demonstrated over and over and over and over that we defy expectations and make history.
In the short term, the math could shift with special elections in key states, then again with midterms in the fall and dozens of congressmen set to retire. Meanwhile, Democrats have signaled they're ready to retake the House and impose more oversight on President Trump.
When we are in the majority, we will continue to ask tough questions, and we will have more tools to use.
For now, political analysts say that Republicans have little margin for error if they hope to carry out their agenda, and even less room for infighting.
Right now, Republicans really are playing defense on all fronts, and that's their priority at the moment. Really, what's affecting their ability to legislate is the fact they don't agree amongst each other about what they need to legislate on.
Now, with that razor-thin margin, even small defections matter. In the past few months, some Republicans have shown they're willing to side with Democrats, forcing votes on the Epstein files and the Affordable Care Act, bypassing Speaker Johnson. In Washington, I'm Stephen Goen.
Governor Beshear is heading to Europe this week. He'll visit Finland and Sweden. The governor will also attend the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. The goal is to bring more investment, jobs, and economic growth to Kentucky. This trip follows a record year for the Commonwealth. Kentucky secured $10.5 billion in new private sector investments last year. Those projects are expected to create nearly 9,600 new full-time jobs.
We're seeing just a little bit of some cloud cover this morning for our far northwestern folks, but for the most part, it's just going to be a dry start to your day. And as the sun rises, should be a nice sunrise, I'd say. But in terms of those temperatures, really just going to be a cold day. I mean, we're talking upper 20s this morning for most folks. A tad cooler as you travel more towards the east, 23 in Clintonwood, 24 in Harlan, and 16 in Jonesville. But by the afternoon, everyone will warm into a mixture of the upper 20s and low 30s. It's going to be cold all day long, unfortunately. So high temperatures will be around that 3 o'clock time frame. Plenty of sunshine to hopefully make it feel better. And then we're dropping back down overnight to the upper single digits and low teens heading into your Tuesday morning. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, geologists say some of the most remarkable features are part of the world beneath our feet right here in Kentucky.